Hey everybody. So I wanted to show a little bit more of a parallel edge feathering. You can see over there is where I did the other video showing kind of more of a perpendicular edge feathering. Well, here I want to show a parallel one. What I got here is multiple layers of screening. We'll have the switchgrass here and then a parallel screen here. The switchgrass actually looked pretty darn good last year. It was a first year stand, but then when we opted the log down here, the loggers had to use this edge for dragging, so I think it ripped up a lot of my root system. We'll see. It might come back. And I've been driving along this edge all winter, so that's why what did make it through is pretty much all smashed down. It's the firmest spot once the spring hit. Driving in the bean strip there, you get stuck pretty easily. So but I might have to fix my switchgrass screen a little bit. I'm gonna give it one more year and see what happens. But yeah, I like to do that, the layered edge. It's a nice way to ensure that if you don't get a good screen in the timber, you can still have a good screen where the switchgrass or your spruce will fill in on the outside here to ensure that you have a really powerful screen. So yeah, this is more of a parallel screen. So the bedding is all the way back in through there. This one, I'm bedding does and fawns as close to this food plot as possible. And yeah, I want to provide a visual screen so the deer can't see out. We don't want the bucks to be able to see out scent check does. I don't want the bucks to be able to see if we're walking across the big CRP plot over there. There's one stand way down on the end there. This is my corner. I want to be more of a sanctuary, so I'm just trying to create as much of a feeling of security as possible. And I am allowing the deer to pop out here. And like I said, with parallel edge feathering, it's used as basically building a wall, but also as a way to guide and direct deer movement. And I allow deer to pop out right there, and then the next spot they can pop out is way down at the end of the plot over there near the deer stand. So I think parallel edge feathering works very well for both of those things. And I'm okay with the deer popping out here because 250 yards up over that direction we got a stand for rifle. That one obviously needs some screening. It's a big tower stand there, kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. That's on the to-do list. It was one we built quite a while ago before I really got into all the habitat stuff. But it's a good observation stand, but it works really well for rifle, where it's a 250 yard look down into this corner, and the deer kind of will often work up that direction or just kind of filter out into the CRP. So we can still hunt the corner even though it acts as a bit of a sanctuary. But anyway, here's the parallel screen. Did dump a couple trees out in, I mean a little bit out into the edge of the plot here, but for the most part it's just it's a wall, and it's gonna work very, very well to screen the deer off from other deer and from us. Even though we plan on not getting anywhere near this corner, we'll access this stand from probably up that direction, or from that direction, or from the other side of that tree row down in here. So yeah, there's the parallel screen. Again, I knocked another one out here a little bit, and I have a bunch of trees that are still standing that are kind of leaning out. I think over time I might drop a tree or two every year, because like I said, when you hinge them perpendicular, they make just phenomenal browse trees for the edge of your plot. I mean, look at the buds on that thing. I just dropped that tree today, and it's gonna make a great browse tree. And it's just box elders, so they're not doing much good standing, but they're just great deer browse and elm trees, I guess, on this edge. So I'd like to drop them, get them into the plot, and give the deer something else to chew on. yeah, there's a parallel screen. I'll take a look at it from the back side too, so you can get a good idea of what the deer see from their perspective where they're bedding. And the bedding area back in here, it is right on the plot, but it is, I would say it's the best bedding area I've made on the farm. I don't think it holds bucks. It definitely holds does, but my gosh, the bucks are in there a lot. I put a camera in it last year, and they were in there all day long. I mean, throughout the season, I was getting pictures of bucks midday. So I don't know if I never had a picture of a buck bedded, but they were definitely in there quite a bit checking it out. All right, we'll flip to the inside view. All right, I wanted to get on the back side of this just to kind of show what it looks like from the deer's perspective, because the goal with this hinge-cut area, this hinge-cut bedding area, is to stack these deer as close to the edge as possible, because we're not going to hunt this edge. So look at this from the deer's perspective, which is about right here. You can barely see out, and it just gets thicker as we get closer to the better bedding location. Here's pretty much the only gap, but we have the switchgrass that'll be a second-year stand on the outside this year. That's gonna blow up, and it's gonna provide that extra layer of screening. Heard a lot of guys talk about it. Jake Blow just did a good video on it this winter. But I love the switchgrass edge feathering combination. So let me get back to the deer's level. So this is where deer would be coming through right here. So this is my weakest spot right there, because I just didn't have the trees leaning the right way. Maybe I'll knock down a couple more of those just to thicken it a little more. But that switchgrass is going to take care of the little bit of screening I couldn't provide with trees. But once we get in here, it just gets gnarly thick. And I'm getting into the better bedding too. So I want it thicker. I mean, a deer is not going to be able to see out. And just think, when the leaves are on the trees, even those thin spots will be filled in. So the first month of bow season, they'll see nothing out there. Here's another very, very small little open spot that the switchgrass will help fill in. But even at the deer's level, again, great screening. And once I get into the very best part of this bedding area, which this bedding area is pretty deep. It's probably 100 yards deep. It's a big bedding location. I mean, there's nothing now. This is where the kind of the central hub is, and they can't see anything. So you want to screen your bedding, add that level of security, force those bucks to get out onto the plots and scent check those does. This area is definitely going to hold deer this year. All right, you all take care. God bless.